Welcome to my channel, The Life of Nina. Today we are doing on Friday's study, and it's out of the devotional journal called The Top 100 Women of the Bible. Today's lady is actually Rebecca's nurse, and since this is in alphabetical order, it's Deborah, Rebecca's nurse. All right. The story is found in Genesis chapter 35, verse 8. But Deborah, Rebekah's nurse, died, and she was buried beneath Bethel under an oak, and the name of it was called Elamacheth. All right, let's see what the journal has to say. Did you know the name of Rebekah's nurse? Genesis 24:59 tells us she accompanied her charge to their new home with Jacob, but it does not mention the nurse's name. Now at Deborah's death, we finally can put a name with a position. Deborah spent plenty of years with her mistress. Perhaps Rebekah appreciated Deborah's kindness to her when she was tiny. Rebekah would have still needed her nurse as she grew, because Genesis 29:29 makes it obvious the bride had no maid. For a while after Rebekah's marriage, there were no children to charge in the middle of the night, but Rebekah helped her charge settle into a new way of life. When children did come, Rebekah desperately needed the nurse since she had twins. Deborah was always there to dandle a crying child or wrap him in a blanket. Many of us have received help with our children from a friend, teacher, or youth group worker. Do we appreciate the effort that goes into caring for children? Like Deborah, many give tender care to youngsters who are not theirs. Will it be a thankless task or one that receives appreciation? Rebekah appreciated her nurse. The name of that oak under which Deborah was buried became Alon Bakuth, which means oak of weeping. That's kind of a beautiful story, I think. Amongst probably most of us ladies, had to work when my son was small. I went back to work when he was 3, I think it was, and then worked for the rest of his life at home. But I was very, very fortunate. My mom watched him most of the time, and my oldest sister Patty, she watched him a whole many years for us. And actually, he was able to get on the bus with her daughter April and go to school when he was of school age. But I think it's important that we have someone that we trust and someone who's going to love our child in the same way that Deborah did all these children. And I know we have nannies nowadays, still as they always did back in the past. And I actually watch a channel, Glenda Soley. She was always a nanny. And you can go to her channel. She's got some really funny stories that she shares. But it's important that people are kind to children, and I know, just thinking about it, on the news you see how people will put up those cams and video cameras in their homes and find the babysitters or nannies doing horrible things to the children, and I just cannot even, I can't even watch them. I won't watch them. It upsets me so bad. So I think that this little devotion today is just to kind of let us know that all from probably the beginning of time, women have needed help, either because they had a job that they had to do, or they had so much work around the home. And I guess it's just letting us know that it's very, very important who we have watch over our children when we're not able to be there. Or even if you are home, if you work from the home and you need help with things, it's good to have someone that is going to be loving, and if they're not part of the family, they should be loved in a way that they are part of the family. not blood related, but just because of the love that they've shown the children and to the parents. But I would rather them, be good to the kids. So that's really basically it. If you guys want to go ahead and read about this story, it did reference, it's all in Genesis, and it goes from, looks like chapter 24 all the way up through chapters 35. And so if you have some time on your hands and you want to be able to study about this a little bit further in detail, I think that would be a great idea. I didn't do it prior to doing this little study, but I will let me see what I had written. I had done this study in January, so I'll read you what I had thought and about it. I said, at one time I was a foster mom, and I tried to love each child as much as possible and tended to all their needs. I guess I don't think much about how they feel now because years have passed, and I'm still mending a broken heart. God knows all of my burdens. So I hadn't remembered, of course, writing that down, but I did. I always tried to treat them all as if they were my own. So, all right, everyone, that's going to be it for today. Just a little short and sweet study, and I'm learning along with you guys, and I appreciate each and every one of you that are joining me, and just have a beautiful, blessed day and weekend. And enjoy your family. If you don't have children, if you're a grandparent or whatever, this might be a good little study to prompt your mind to maybe go take them for a ride. Or I know it's in the winter right now, but if you don't have a park around and it's not warm where you're at, sometimes the McDonald's have the playlands you could take them to. Just spend a little bit of time with them, or take them back to your house or apartment and play a game with them and just show them a little love. If you're a mommy, try to get some time out there for each of your children, just a few minutes if you have every day, or once a week, one-on-one with each child. So, all right, let's just take care of the blessings that God has given us, and I will talk to you guys.